Hey everyone, hope you're well. Back again with another unboxing video today. So as you may have seen from the intro video there, I'm unboxing a lovely green Telecaster today from the amazing people at Glarry Instruments. So I've been sent this recently and they've asked me to essentially do an unboxing video, show you what it looks and sounds like and just be honest about it. This is an incredibly cheap guitar. At the time of filming this video it retails for £65, which is ridiculously cheap for a guitar. So very curious to see what it's like, how it handles, will it stay in tune, how does it feel, what's the setup like, etc, etc. So before we get too fully on into it, let's get it unboxed, and then I'll plug it in for you. So let's get to the unboxing section. So as always, timestamps will be down below, so if you want to skip through the unboxing part straight to the playing, you can do. So just have a look down there in the bottom of the section of the video. So, no real easy way to unbox the guitar. I'm just going to put it on the floor and see what I can do. Okay, so inside the box we have some polystyrene. So I assume this is going to make a lot of mess. Let's have a look. Never had a guitar come in polystyrene before, it's kind of unusual, but normally it's a double box situation. Definitely going to have to get the Hoover out. Okay, we've got little bits of polystyrene everywhere, as expected. So we've got some sellotape across the top here. I think this is going to get ripped, let's be careful. There we go, okay. So inside the polystyrene box, we have the guitar obviously. Looks like we might have a few other things in here I didn't know about. That's cool, we'll take a look at that. So start with the guitar obviously. It's in one of these bags like always, with the band across the top. Okay. Feels quite lightweight, which is good, I'd say, for a guitar like this. Let's have a look. Cool. Love that finish. Hopefully you can see this on camera. We'll get some close-ups, obviously. Wow, look at that. So we've got this stunning green finish here. So this is they call it the Glarry Gtl. It's obviously a Telecaster style. It's got two single coil pickups. We'll do a bit on the specs later on, obviously. So yeah, I'll get some close-ups so you can see this. First impressions, it looks incredible. It's got my fingerprints on it already and a few bits of dust and stuff. So I'll clean it up in a second. But yeah, cool. Love it with the black scratch plate. Really like that. Okay, so the specs of this guitar, like I said, it's built in China, and I'm finding it hard to believe how good it looks for the price, to be honest. We're using basswood here, which is fairly affordable type of wood, I guess. However, you do get a lot of high-end, like Ibanez guitars that usually use basswood, so you know, nothing too negative there really. The weight is remarkably light. I guess I'm so used to playing Les Pauls these days that those guitars feel light, but again, at the price point, this puts this guitar completely in the sort of beginner sort of range, and a guitar that's quite light is always a plus point really. So yeah, we've got the basswood body. It's a bolt-on neck, as you'd expect for a Fender style guitar. So you've got the nice neck plate there, chrome finish. We've even got like a black plastic ring around it, so it's not going to sort of damage the paint there. Nice feature. Fairly chunky maple satin neck here, so chunkier than I was expecting. Nothing outrageous, but if I was to compare it to a Fender, which would be a little bit unfair at the price point obviously, maybe a touch thicker than a Fender sort of modern C shape, but you know, nothing outrageous. 22 frets, three-way switch obviously, got two pickups here, volume and tone control, metal plate on this end here. That's a nice touch. On a lot of cheaper guitars you usually get plastic plates and they will snap within a couple of weeks of heavy usage, so always a nice feature on a cheap guitar, I think. Again, the top of the headstock, we've got 6 tuners on one side, as you'd expect in a Fender guitar. You've got the Glarry branding there, and 2 little string trees. So, all in all, you know, nothing to complain about so far. Looks like a cool bit of kit. We've got the sort of ashtray style bridge here, with the very old-fashioned sort of 3 saddles here. So, might not be the best for intonation, but it's how guitars would have been back in the 50s. So, it's kind of got that old school vibe to it, hasn't it? Love the colour. So, on the subject of the colour, this is obviously the green. They have it available in a few of the colours. I'll flash this up on the screen. There's a yellow, which is kind of like your Keith Richards sort of natural butterscotch colour, I guess they call it. They refer that as yellow. There's a black, a blue, which is very nice, and I think a sunburst as well. So a lot of options. And like I said, at the time of filming, £65 delivered to you, which is mental. Okay, so what else did we get in the box? We've got a mystery bag here. So I didn't know this was coming with anything else. So it's kind of cool. So it looks like we've got a gig bag. You know, ideal, very cheap, you know, very thin. It doesn't really have much protection to it. But again, I'm not expecting that. I didn't even expect to get a case of it. So this is kind of cool. We've got the zip at the front, as you'd expect. Carry handles at the side and the straps on the back like a rucksack. So again, it's very cheap material, flimsy, but it's going to keep the guitar dry if you're traveling, I guess. So that's something. We've also got what looks like a guitar strap. Again, black, very thin, but again, nice to have one included with the guitar, and a plectrum as well. So let's check that out. So just a white plectrum, no branding or anything. Would have shame to not have a Glarry Music sort of a logo on there, but that's cool. Again, nice to have it for free. And what else have we got? Looks like a cable, and obviously the Allen key adjustment for the truss rod. So we'll see if we'll need that later on, won't we? But yeah, all that's included with the price of the guitar, so pretty cool. So that's everything you get in the box, essentially. So I'm going to tune the guitar up and plug it in, basically, and see what we've got going on. So now we're plugged in, and I'm just going to show you some tones. So I'm going to start off on the neck pickup. Obviously we've got the three-way pickup selector here, like a traditional Fender Telecaster. So we've got the neck, bridge at the back, and the middle position, which is a combination of the two. So I'm just going to go through the basic tones. Full volume on the guitar. Here's the neck pickup. Lovely. Alright, let's go to the bridge, see what difference we've got there. As expected, a lot more bite to the sound, so I'm going to dig into strings a bit. That characteristic telly twang, lovely. Alright, let's try the middle position. So I'm just going to show off how well the volume control works in this guitar. So I'm going to do something with a bit more gain, and then just sort of roll the volume control down just to see how well it cleans up. So yeah, we still retain a nice high end there as I roll the volume down. Sounds pretty cool, cleans it nicely. I'm just going to play a bit more for you. Okay, hopefully you've enjoyed those little playing examples there. So now I've had a quick go on it, a quick play. Pretty impressed so far. There are a few things I'm going to mention straight up though. So no matter the price point of the guitar, something I always like to do for myself, I'm going to restring this guitar with the string gauge I like and see how that's going to improve the guitar. Often on a cheap guitar like this, it's going to be strung with very cheap strings, and just to give it a fair shout, I'm going to put a set of D'Addario strings I like to play, a set of 10s on here hopefully, see how that feels. And one slight criticism I'm going to give it, the fretwork on the edge is fantastic actually, not a criticism at all. I was expecting the frets to be sprouting out across the edge of the fretboard, very common on cheap guitars. Here, it's actually a nice fret dress, you know, everything feels decent. What I'm going to sort of give it a bit of a knockdown for is actually the condition of the frets. They're a little bit tarnished. I'll try and get a close-up of this, but this guitar would really benefit from a fret polish. So I'm going to go away and polish the frets, restring the guitar, plug it back in, tune it up, and do a bit more playing examples for you. But I just wanted to say that straight off. So, you know, I'm going to polish the frets, restring it, plug it back in, see how it sounds, and see how it feels. But so far, very impressed, you know. Okay, so I got the strings off as you can see and taken the plastic off the scratch plate, which looks lovely now. So the first one I'll talk about is the frets. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but they're sort of a little bit grimy. If you play a lot of guitar, you'll know what I mean by this. They've just lost their shine, so they could do with a bit of a polish. Many ways you could do this, and polishing the frets just allows a guitar to play a bit better really, especially if you like to do a lot of bending on the strings like I like to. So there's many ways you can do this. The easiest way is, you know, wire wool. Of course that's going to make a massive mess out of everything and you get it all over your pickups. So something that I've been doing for years is using fret polishing rubbers. So I've got a couple here. They're pretty worn out as you can see. So these are a company called Crimson Guitars that I've been using for literally years. And they're slightly abrasive rubber. So they'll just go over the fret and just basically take all the grime and the dirt off. And it's as easy as, I'll show you here so you can see. What I'll do we'll try and get a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about here. And I'll try and just do the top two frets, polish them up, and hopefully you can see the difference between the two that I've done and the two I haven't. Well, the rest of them I haven't, and obviously I'm going to speed this up on the camera and go right through the whole fretboard, polish them up, then restring it with my set of D'Addario strings, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so hopefully you could see that on the camera there, on the close-up. I've just polished the top two frets here, so there's a much nicer shine to them. Again, it's not really a fault to Glarry music at all. You know, it's something I've come to like the feel of over the recent years on my guitars. Cleaner your frets are, the easier it is to sort of bend, like I said, or slide across them. So just one thing I noticed when I immediately played the guitar with the strings on from out of the box, you know, from the factory as it were. There's just a bit of grittiness as you bend the strings. So not the end of the world, but if you know what to do, it literally takes a couple of minutes to sort out. So as I'm restringing the guitar, like I said, it just made a lot of sense. So I'm going to do the rest of the frets now, all 20 of them that are left over to do. It shouldn't take too long. Obviously I'm not going to film this because it'll, you know, it's a bit boring to watch, isn't it? So we'll turn the cameras back on in a bit and I'll put the strings on and go from there. So we'll go for a set of D'Addarios, set of 10 gauge strings. So I'll fast forward this obviously and then we'll get plugged in and do some tones. neck pickup. Okay, I'm going to try play a bit more blues for you, something with a lot of dynamics, see what you think. I'll go between the various pickups on this and try and get a mixture of sounds on the go. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed the playing examples there. So I'm just going to talk to the camera for a little bit and tell you what I think of the guitar. You know, there's lots of things I like about this guitar, a few things I'm not that mad on, but all in all, I've got to be honest here. This is a guitar which costs less than most of the pedals I own. This is, you know, I said before, it's £65 delivered. This guitar is, and it's mental how they can make something like this, which still looks lovely and functions decent at that price. I was trying to think, you know, what could I compare this to? And the first thing that comes to mind is obviously going to be your Squier Telecasters. You know, a Squier Telecaster, you're talking £130 maybe. Obviously you could look second hand, but just going at retail face value prices, the other name that jumps out is Harley Benton. Again, I think they're slightly more affordable than the Squiers, but still, this is still coming in at under half the price of those. So it's mental really. So again, I'm going to talk you through what I like and what I didn't like so much, and who I think this guitar is ideal for. So straight in with the things I like. Look at it. It's a really lovely looking guitar. I absolutely adore the green finish. Partially biased because those of you who know me well, you'll know that I grew up listening to Status Quo, and Francis Rossi was one of my absolute guitar idols. So always wanted a green Telecaster. But that aside, the finish is lovely. It's nice and consistent. We've got a heavy gloss on here. The edges are nice and smooth, curved round, you know, it's a comfortable guitar and it's a lightweight guitar, which is very important for someone who's new to electric guitar. If this is like your first guitar, you don't want something that's going to weigh too much and put you off, so it's a very comfortable guitar to get started on, I'd say. Again, it's offered in a range of colours, so there's plenty to choose from, but green won me over immediately. Okay, and so on to some of the things I'm not as keen on. Hard to be critical at this price, obviously, but like I said, out of the box, the strings it came with, they were not that great. So if you were to buy this guitar yourself, first thing I recommend to improve the quality of the guitar is to essentially just restring the guitar with a proper set of branded strings. I played the Dario strings and that's what I slapped on here straight away, and it improved the feel of the guitar straight away. The other minor point I had to mention earlier in the video was the frets. They're a little bit grubby. Again, it's not a nightmare, it's not the be all and end all, but it does slightly, you know, dampen the playing experience. So it's an easy thing to sort out if you've got the tools and the knowledge. It takes, you know, 20 minutes to polish the frets out, but again, if you're new to guitar, you probably won't know how to do that. So you're going to have to take it to someone who knows what they're doing, a friend or someone in the family, or even a guitar shop, and that's going to cost a bit of money. So you've got to factor that into the, you know, the experience here. I did actually, once I had restrung the guitar, I took the truss rod tool, the Allen key that's provided with the guitar, just gave it a quarter turn, and that just, you know, brought the guitar into a more playable position for me. That's just my own personal preference. Out the box, the guitar was okay. How it's playing now is a lot better, but again, if I'm going to be critical, you know, you're going to have to restring the guitar, you're going to have to do a little bit of, you know, cleaning up, new strings, polish the frets maybe, maybe a tiny bit of a setup. If you're prepared to do that, you know how to, or you've got someone who knows how to do that for you, that's brilliant. If not, you know, it's not the most comfortable playing experience straight away, but still, it was okay. I'm going to give it an okay. I think that's fair enough. So who do I think this guitar is suitable for? Well, obviously at the price point, it's anyone who's curious about playing electric guitar. If you've maybe dabbled on an acoustic and want to sort of step up to the electric game, then this is a great way to go. Obviously, I mentioned before there's other brands out there, but this is completely undercutting them by a long way. So this is a great way to get into the hobby of playing guitar. Like I said, I think there's a few things you need to do with it, so be aware of that when you're buying the guitar. But that aside, you really can't complain too much at this price point. I have had a look underneath the scratch plate out of curiosity when I was taking the strings off and giving it a bit of a clean. I did actually notice, I'll get a quick photo of this so you can see, there is actually a route here, so you could fit a humbucker in the neck position if you wanted to. So this could be a guitar that appeals to someone who wants to learn a bit about, you know, building guitars, I guess, who wants to modify pickups. Maybe you want to do a bit of work on the fretboard, you know, rounding the edges of the frets, that sort of thing. This is a bit of great guitar at a cheap price point to sort of learn how to do a bit of that on, you know. You're not going to sort of start hacking up an expensive guitar, so this might appeal to someone like that as well. So all in all, I think it's a great bit of gear and I've had a lot of fun playing it. So a big thank you to Glarry Music again for sending this guitar. You're going to see it a lot more on my channel actually. I've got a few more videos planned with it, so if anyone wants to hear me playing a specific style or song, or you generally have questions about the guitar, please let me know in the comments and I will try to answer those as quickly as I can and address them in a future video. So thanks all again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed looking at this guitar and hearing it as much as I have playing it. It's been a really good fun day today. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when my next video comes out, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again.